It's great. Do you know, the bloke went to doctors, it's true this, he went to doctors, so doctor says, can they help you out fruit? He says, I can, lad. He says, well, what's up with this? He said, I haven't been to the toilet for 3 months. He says, that what? He said, I haven't been to the toilet for 3... He said, I'll rate in the old sport. Writes him a prescription, you see, he wrote it out. He says, get them down there. Does it world of good. So, lad took him home, has his tea. Thought, right, I'll go to the chemist. So he gets his coat on, you know. Walks down, looks at prescription, 7 stone of Epsom salt, 7 stone. He thought, good God. So he went back for garden barry, you know. A fortnight later, doctor looking at prescription pad, he thought, good God, I've made a right mess of this. 7 stone, it should have been 7 ounce. Aye. Got it car, flying down to the bloke's house, knocks on the door flew open. Bloke's wife's walking downstairs with 2 buckets full, 2 buckets! He said, I'm sorry, lads, I've made a mistake. Is he all right? She says, is he all right? This is 14th bucket, he's been dead a week. Oh, I'm right pleased you could get here. I am. But all right. My mother's Yorkshire, not my mother. She is I. My dad, anybody's guess, but don't matter. But I'm part Scotch, really. I am, it's true. I am part Scotch. My dad wore a colour sergeant tip black watch. Oh, I'm always talking about folk, you know. But nobody minds, druther, really. You know, it's part and parcel of life, isn't it? You've got to have a bit of fun. I mean, look at me, I was born in early 30s. You know, I'm not sure to look, hair's going a bit silver. It's with this game, you know, it knocks you up. But I was born in, and I lived in a terrace row, half a mile long. There weren't them days, terrace rows, half a mile long. Toilets round back, and they'd got to be fast. It's true, it's true. Hey, you'd got to motor them days. You'd got to motor, else it were chap legs. No, but it's true. And hey, you 2 bedrooms, hadn't you? 2 bedrooms, living place and little kitchen, didn't you? With set pot in corner. Hey, set pot. The mother used to be doing washing on a Monday, didn't she? Bless her. Hey, copper full of washing. When she finished washing, she chucked the in for a bath. Same copper on a Tuesday, full of stew. And there were dumplings as big as cauliflower squash. Hey, the mum used to say, get the ear in. Ooh. I got more than others because I got thicker lips. Fool. No, this is true, I'm going to tell you now, perfectly true. Though the Yankee doctor came over to England, you know what these Yanks are? All mouth. It's right, this, it's right. And he went to this hospital, you see, this Yankee, and he said, well, I'd like a look around your hospital. They said, fair enough, old flower, bring this end in. So he went in, you know, and give him a cup of Thai food and all paraphernalia. So he said, I'd like a look around your wards, you know, just to see how the patient... They said, fair enough, come on. So they took him down wards, you know, and showed him a patient. They said, well, have a look at this one. What do you think? So he pulled blankets back, you know, these Yanks. Whether they know what's wrong or not, they pulled blankets back, you know. He said, my God, he said, yes, rather pale, blue around the lips. I should say this man's suffering from heart trouble. He said, that's right, flower, top oil. Very nice. Halfway down ward, they said, now then, would you like to look at this man? He said, my God, he said, this man's really serious. Yellow jaundice, bloodshot eyes. Said, this man's suffering from kidney trouble. He said, that's right again, flower. Well done. Went to bottom at ward, there's a man squatted there in bed, you know. Squatted there, eyes protruding, veins stuck out, He says, goodness, my God, that man's suffering from blood pressure. He said, that's wrong. He's set on pot. Hey, hold on. I should like to tell you this. It's a good one, mine. It's clean. There's a mate of mine, and he's a grand fella, and he goes in booze every day. Life and soul at party. He's always on, having a good laugh, smokes, he can sup like a fish. All his life. Come in other week, and does thou know, his face were down here. I says, what's up, cock? He wouldn't answer me, Dan knows he wouldn't answer me. I thought, poor old cocker. I said, come here, Flower, let's have a word with thee. I says, what's the matter with thee? What aren't they talking? What are use little life and soul at party? What's up with thee, old love? He said, well, I said, I tell thee, I've got to talk to somebody. He said, I've been to the doctors. He said, and I've got 6 months to live. I said, cheer up, it'll soon pass. This is true, this. There were a little midget, you know, and a grand little fella, and he got on train at Donny, and he was going going to Peterborough, but he got on this train, and he's belted along, and he said, hey, where we off? They said, London. He says, I'm on a show at Peterborough. He said, well, we don't stop. He says, you'll have to stop. He says, you'll have to do. He said, well, he said, hold on, I'll go see driver, see what we can do for the old love. So he said to the driver, he says, this midget is on a show at Peterborough, can we help him? This is only one thing we can do, we'll slow down, going through the station. He said, fetch him here. So he says, come here. He said, look, cock. He says, Peterborough. He says, but we don't stop. He said, I know, but he said, well, look, I'll tell you what I'll do. He said, we get in near, I'll slow the train down. He said, I'll pick the up with scruff and neck. Hang the out at window and get the little legs going, see? So he does this, and his legs are going. And he dropped him smack on Peterborough Station, and he's going like, whoa. And guard looked out, and he seen this. So he whipped him up, he says, by gum, I nearly missed it that time, old love. Laugh. I thought my trousers never dry. Hey, do you know, this is true now, there were a football match between rabbis and fathers. This is right. It was a big game. And when it was all over, Pope rang up, he said, are you going on up through? He says, we've lost 34-0. He says, you never have. He said, we have 34-0, right drubbing. He said, arrange another match. He said, it's no tale, we're having the more of that, old lad. He said, arrange another. Fix you up with a good one. He said, well, have a race match then. Who we got? He said, Father Eusebio. I said, fair enough, old love. We'll skate to him. Very nice. After the match, he phoned them up. He said, how we gone on? He said, we lost 2-1. He said, you never did. He said, we did. We lost 2-1. He said, who scored for us? He said, Father Eusebio. He said, well, who scored for them? He said, Rabbi Charlton and Rabbi Best. Oh, dear. Sit down, out road. Hey, no, hold on. This bloke walked in this boozy, you know. So he orders a pint, and he's just going to sit down, and there's a bloke sat at the table with a dog on his knee. So he says, hey up, he says, what's up, Flower? He says, put dog up, Flower. He said, it's an old tale. He says, get it down, old lad. That's where they belong, dogs. He said, I can't. It's a dachshund. He said, I can see it's a dachshund. He said, he says, no, it's got little legs. He says, they've all got little legs. He said, but these are littler than others. He says, so what? He says, well, said there. It's just that pup, see? And with it being, and I put it down, it scrapes its... He says, gives on that flaming dog. And he got on the dog and he put thimbles on them. He did it. Have you heard it? No? You will do when it comes down your street. Well, I don't know. Oh, laugh. I never thought my trousers would dry. Hey, hold on. Hold on. Now, do you know, there were a little lad, and he were a warm little dog. And his father said, come here, I want this. I says, what's up, old fruit? He says, that lad of mine, ridiculous. I said, well, what's up with him? What's gone wrong? He says, oh, swearing, cussing. I said, well, as I don't know what about it, he says, I'm not buying no toys for Christmas. I've had enough. Fed up to teeth. I said, fair enough, old fruit. I said, I'll tell you what to do. When it gets to Christmas Eve, get pillowcase, nip down to the farmyard, fill it full of ross muck, and hang it on bed rail. He said, I'll do that, old flower. Took it down to the farmyard, filled it full of ross muck, hung it on bed rail. Little lad woke up next morning looking at bedroom, looked at pillowcase full of ross muck, he's writing in. His sister came through the door. He says, hey, up, look what I've got for Christmas. She said, I've got a doll, a doll's pram, a box of chocolates, doll's clothes, and some books. What's that got? He said, I've got us when I can find the bloody thing. All like that. As I see inside of them two, eh? Have you looked at them? Manning and Roper. Size, and they call us cannibals. Hey, there was a fella, you know, and he went to a psychiatrist. So psychiatrist says, now then, can I help you? He said, well, to be quite truthful, he said, my life's just been a failure. He said, well tell me about yourself. You know, how do you mean? He said, well, as a lad, I passed me 11 plus. He said, and I went to high school and took 10 O levels, 8 A levels. Went on to university, got a degree in chemistry. Then I got a good job with ICI. See, chemical engineer, top rank. He said, well, what are you on about? How do you make out your life's been a failure? He said, I wanted to be a window cleaner. And then this woman went to the doctor, and she was a good woman. She says, doctor, she said, my husband beats me every night. He says, well, try playing something you're good at. No, this is right, no. There were two blokes went to rob a bank. This is true, this. They went to rob this bank, you know, and one went in, see, with gun and lot, and others stopped outside, you know, engine ticking over, you know, ready for fast getaway. And he's there about 5-7 minutes. All of a sudden, his mate comes flashing out at the bank, into the car. So he says to his mate, he says, I hope you remembered to wear your silk stocking. He says, of course I did. He says, they'll never recognise my leg anywhere.
Fellow stuck on the M1, the AA come out, he said, your battery's flat. He said, well, what shape should it be?
Hey, hold on. There was a dustbin man, a right nice fella, collecting dustbins, you know. And he come to this house, and this is right, I'm not calling, dustbin was missing. He thought there's something wrong here. I better knock on the door. So he went and knocked on the door, and he was knocking for 10 minutes, hammering at that door. And all of a sudden, the door opened, a big coloured woman. She was a whopper. Ooh. He said, where's you been? She said, I've been to the toilet. Where's you been? That's lovely, me old flowers. That's grand. You're all like, hey, hold on. No, I said to tell her this. There was a bloke, you know, he got a little lad about 12-year-old. Oh, and he was a warm little he was a warm. And do you know, he was always pinching things, you know. And he thought there's something wrong with him. It's funny how they come to that conclusion, isn't it? So I thought I'll take him to one of these psychiatrists, them funny blokes, them. So he took him to the psychiatrist. He says, now then, old love, he says, can they do out for lad? He said, well, I don't know, Flower, what's up with you? He said, well, he's always taking things, always pinching. Oh, he said, is he? He said, well, said that. He said, it'll cost you £100. He said, what for? He says, to analyse, to diagnose what's up with him. He said, 100 knicker? He said, aye. He said, go on then, go on. Get him inside, I'll pay it. 3 minutes later, his back out, he said, it's right. He says, that what? He said, I've diagnosed what's up with him. He said, 3 minutes, £100, that's diagnosed what? He said, I have. He said, well, what's up with him? He says, he's a thief. I love that one. It's a good one, that, you know, it's a good one, that. Hey. This is true, this is true. This male attendant, you know, took all these mental patients out, you know, on a club outing. They went on a club trip, you know. No, it's true, this, Blossom, it's true. And they went on this club trip, you know how they do, they have a very good day out, don't they? And then, you know what happens. You know what, don't rub your eyes, love, all that mascara, you'll be darker than me. No, hold on, this is true. So they got in this boozer halfway back, you know. So he said, you know, attendant said, he says, come here, old flower. He said to the barman, he says, come here. He said, now look, he says, they're a little bit, that knows, of the road. He says, so no matter what happens, old love, he said, let them have the drinks. If they pay the way polished, that knows, any tin polished lids are all like that. He said, milk bottle tops. See? Jam jar lids. He says, just take it, accept it as legal money. Don't mess about. Just take it off them. See? Humour them. See what I mean? He said, fair enough, old flower. He said, I'll settle the bill when we finish. He said, right enough, lad. And they had a right good session. Hey, they were as drunk as monkeys. Well, there was something lot. There were jam jars and all sorts flying over the counter. He said he were paying him with that, you know. And that boot polish, all them lids, you know, he kept getting. And he accepted it. Aye. Closing time, they're all wobbling out, that know. Singing and roping the what. He said, hey up, barman said, hey up, come here, I want the old love. He said, what's up, lad? He said, oh, settling up. He said, I'm glad that reminded me. I'm right pleased. He said, it's a good job. He said, now then, has they got change for a dustbin lid? Oh, me mum tell me that one. I love a good laugh, don't you? Yeah, good lads better than doorsteps and salts, isn't it? You can't. Hey, hold on. No, though, this white hunter, you know, I shouldn't say that, really. No, he went out to Africa and he discovered this little pygmy tribe. They called the Elawi tribe, you know. And he thought it's a funny name, this, for a tribe. But he got right friendly. So Chief said to him, he said, would I like to come out? Because he talked like that, this Chief, you see. He said, would I like to come on hunting trip with his old lad? He said, aye, I'll make one. He said, right. So he took coat off because it was warm. It's warm over there, you know. And they're off into the jungle and he said, hey, he said, before we go any farther, old lad, he said, why did they call your tribe Elawi? He said, well, I'll tell the old love. He said, I says, when we're hunting, we generally get in this elephant grass. He said, it's right, eh? He said, and I'll see our hunters jumping up and shouting, where the hell are we? Where the hell... Hey, hold on. Hold on. This bloke, you know, walked in the boozer. A nice fella, and he got a dog. Grand dog it was. And he sat down having a pint, so the bloke says, I've got a grand dog there, old love. He said, I know, it's a good one. One-man dog, do out I tell it. He said, are you sure? He said, I'm certain. He said, well, give us a sample, what can it do? He said, well, right, watch this. He says, sit there. Like that to the dog, you see. He did, he put 10 bob in its mouth. He said, up to that bar, old son, and fetch 2 packets of crisps and a pork pie. And it went up. 2 packets of crisps, pork pie, come back, change it lot. He says, what's the rating? He said, very nice. Bloke said, I bet I can make it do what I want it to do. He said, I can't. He said, I'll bet thee a fiver. He says, right. Says to the dog, here, fetch a tin of biscuits. Dog never budged. He says, here, fetch a pound of steak. Never budged. So I tell you, it's a one-man dog. Fiver they owes me. Little bloke said it corner, smoking a pipe. He said, I'll make it do what I want, mister. He says, can that? He said, I can, I'll bet thee a fiver. He says, fair enough. That never fiver out fruit. So little fella walked up, he says, fiver on? He says, yes. He says, put it on the table, old lad. Put fiver on the table, he covered it, he grabbed on the dog, he chucked it on fire. He said, get off. Hey, do you know, there was a big bodybuilder that lived next door to a little fella. And he was a little man, only toddy, right toddy, you know. And he had 7 bairns, And bodybuilder, he got none. Lovely wife, no bairns. And he knocked on the door one day, he says, hey, you, come here, I want the old flower. He says, what's the matter, cock? He says, as it happened, that's got 7 bairns and they're only a skinny little runt. He said, and I'm here, a bodybuilder, I've got none. He says, well, I don't treat wife right, I can't do. He said, oh, she has everything. He said, well, I'll tell you how to do it then, old lad. He said, well, what should I do? He said, well, then, get ready to eat, take her out, wine and dine her, get her a little bit, you know, 1 or 2 downers and get her... He said, fair enough. What do I do next? He says, well, bring her back home in the car and, you know, do a little song to her and all that. He said, fair enough. What do I do next? He says, then run a bath, put some lovely bath salts in. He said, right, all right, I'll do that. He said, and what next? He said, and then get her a lovely negligee, beautiful see-through. He said, right, fair enough. Then what do I do? He says, get her laid in bed, nice and comfy and fire on. He said, fair enough. What do I do next? He said, send for me. Well, I don't know. Oh, hey, have a minute. Now, do you know, this is true now. Because I don't cut on, you know, I'm a truthful fella. I'm not like them others, you know. I'm good, I know me. No, this is true, though. No, there were 2 tramps, you know, and they were talking. And one said to other, he says, are they hungry, old? He said, I am, lad. He said, well, could they eat? He said, I could eat tabletop. He said, well, I'll show you how to get some snap. He said, well, how are we going to get it? He says, watch this. So he bent down and he picked a lump of Osmo cup. He said, what are you going to do? He says, just watch this. So he knocked on this door and this woman, he says, could you put me a bit of salt on this? She said, throw it away and come in. Hey, and she gave him a right slap up do, that was. 5 courser. He says, what's the rent of that? He said, very good, old fruit. Very nice. So he thought, I'll work a flanker. So he went and he picked a lump of horse manure up, you know, and he went to this big mansion. He thought, bigger house, mansion, I shall get a better meal, see. So he rang bell. And her ladyship answered, yes, my good man. He said, could you put me a bit of salt on this? And she said, oh, how revolting. She said, throw it away and go round to the stables and get a warm piece. It's all clever stuff. You know that, don't you? Clever stuff. Now, do you know, I'm not kidding, this is true now, but I'm going to tell you. There was a bloke and he won £200 at horses. Don't know, see, he was a gambler. Good un. And he won these £200, so I thought, right, I'm going to live it up. Well, you do, don't you, when you got a bob or two? And he went to London, you know. Hey, they're ready for you there, they'll take it off you. Hey, I did a right good day. Had a gambler too, lost. Jar or two, lost. Bird or two, lost. He thought, well, this is it. 10 o'clock, I'll get some bevy down me and how's your father? Aye. So he got bevy in, last few quid. 11:45, he thought, that's it, I'll get my son off home. When he looked in his pocket, he was skinned. No. He thought, I've overdone it. He thought, fair enough, I'll get down in Hyde Park, thought he. Goes to Hyde Park, looks in, full up hippies, hoppies, all lot. Well, he thought, right. So he went to Trafalgar Square, he thought, I'll get, he was too late, full of tramps. Thought, that's it. Kept staggering along. Come to Thames Bridge, he thought, this'll do for me, old love. Put sports paper out, he said, I'm on bridge, on parapet. Got laid back, then as he were off. Big Rolls Royce rose up, beautiful blonde, she were a belter. Oh. She says, now then, old lad, are they hungry? He said, I am. She said, what would they like? He said, I'd like some tatey rash. She said, fair enough, bring this in now. Took him back to a lovely penthouse, gorgeous, you know. Oh, caviar the lot. Oh, he dined like a king. Said, now then, are you thirsty? He said, I am. She said, what would you like? He said, I'll have a pint of mixed. Hey, scotch on the rocks, you know. Lovely. She said, now then, would you like a bath? He said, well, aye, go on, lass. Bathroom, you know, lovely. Shovel full of them bath cubes in. Stick it big toe up, then as Oh, he got out and took towel, give us a eye. Pyjamas, monogram, they were beautiful. Oh, lovely stuff. She said, are you ready for bed? He said, I am. Dived in, he got laid back there. There's others when I get into bed, that don't have love to stretch, don't it? Oh, he just lay there, and all of a sudden door opened, and she was stood there in black negligee. Oh. Hey, he daren't look. Oh, and she swayed up to bed, you know. And she dropped negligee, you know. She did, she dropped it. Aye, she says, move over. And he fell into Thames. Tory colonial secretary were out there in Africa, that was. And it were ready for general election. So he went round to all these natives in this big kraal, and he got them all gathered together. He said, now look, he said, if we're re-elected into power, he said, we're going to do a wonderful job for you natives. He said, in fact, we're going to knock all mud huts down and get you all 3-bedroom bungalows, you know, all ventilated. And all Africans shouted, Ngombe, Ngombe! They talk like that. He said, and we shall fulfill Our promises, he said, each and every one of you will be given full-time employment. You will receive £30 a week. Nagombe, oh, they were going up the wall. He said, and we also promised the old folks £22 per week. Every old person in this... Nagombe! Well, they were going mad. Told Chief says to him, he says, thank you very much. And he walking him down the road, you know, and told this colonial secretary is looking, and all of a sudden he saw this big palatial building. He said, hey, oh, what's that, my old flower? He said, well, you see, he said, that is our place of worship. We worship the sacred bull, and that is the bull's sacred palace. He said, well, could I have a look in? He said, no, I'm very sorry. Very sorry. It is against our beliefs for a white man to enter. He said, but to be truthful with you, he said, the sacred bull has been locked up for 3 months. He said, and the floor is 18 inches deep in Nagombe. Oh, it were all right, that one, eh? Oh, hey. Do you know what happened at our local church? Hey, Vicar got up Sunday morning. This is true, missus. This is true. Vicar got up, and you know how you do with sermon? After sermon, he said, well, ladies and gentlemen, he said, I've got some sad news for you. He said, I'm very sorry to tell you that Mr. Greenhill has absconded with the savings. He says, we're skinned. He says, so we'll all join together in hymn 337. There is a Greenhill far away. Do you know, there were 2 little lads they were playing marbles at Side at Road. Do you used to play marbles? Philippine. And the Philippine at Side at Road with these marbles, and all of a sudden a big Rolls Royce draws up. And this bloke got out, and he went across to this house and he knocked on the door, and a smashing bit of crackling opened the door. Oh, she were a belter. He said, good afternoon, my love. Mr. Smith sent me. She says, oh, come along in. And he went in. Do you know, in 20 minutes? And these 2 little lads are watching, you know. And door opened and he came back out to get a £5. He said, thank you very much. See you again. She said, ta-ra, love. 10 minutes later, another big car rolls up. Another bloke gets out, knocks on the door. Good afternoon, my love. Mr. Smith sent me. Oh, he says, come on in. And he went in. And he were in 20 minutes. Little Tommy and his mates watching the door, you know, they're watching. 20 minutes later, he's out. He says, thank you very much, love. Enjoyed that. Lovely. She says, fair enough, call again. So Tommy looked at his mate. He said, is there any money? He said, I've got tuppence. He says, well, I've 4pence, that's a tanner. We're in here. See, I'm going back a year or 2. You can tell, can't you? So they went over, knocked on the door. And this lovely bird says, yes? He says, Mr. Smith sent us. Oh, she says, come on in. In they went, you know. I had the throat tin, 2 little troopers that were in. She says, where's your money? A tanner. She took Tanner, and you know what she did? She lashed him up and down that passageway. She knocked him up passage, danced all over, upstairs, down, passage back, up in front door and kicked him straight out into the street. Little Tommy got up first, he dusted his head down, he said, bye, gum old love, I'm glad I ain't got a fiver, I couldn't have stuck 20 minutes of that. I like out like that, do you? Hey, do you know, there were a bloke, and he were a right nice fella, you know. And he worked at this nice firm, but he were timid, and boss were all on to him. You know what they are? If they know you're timid, they clog you, you know. And he kept clogging him, and this poor bloke, he were at his wit's end. And do you know, one day he felt poorly. His mate says, get off home, old love. He said, no, I can't. Boss will play it. Oh, he'll go mad. He said, he's not here today, get this hen off home. He said, are you sure? He says, I'm certain. Off that goes. And he went. He plucked up courage, you know. And he were off home. And he went home and he sneaked up drive, you know, and he thought, I'll have a look, see where she is first. See? And he looked through the lounge window and there's his boss there with wife on the sofa. Oh, and they were kissing and cafurtling, you know what I mean? Ah! Oh, he run straight back to work, he run straight back. He said to his mate, he says, that a darling there, he says, that a grandmate. He says, why, what's the matter? What happened? He says, I nearly got caught. Hey, what about that bloke that went home one day, you know, he went home one day, and, you know, he was tired. And you know what you do when you're tired? Best thing to do, I tell you what best thing to do is, run bath. And don't mess about, fill it to the brim. Don't lake about. And he filled it to the brim and he were in. Took the wolf. Hey, he surfaced. Oh, and he's playing about there, you know, he put up one of them box of pursley, bob. I personally, that gets them whiter than white. I never use that. I tell Sammy to use it, I'm not using it now. I always tell Sammy, I don't like them, I want to get them out in our tribe, you know. Oh, and he's flicking bubbles with his toe, you know. Well, they do some with the toe. Anyway. Front doorbell rang. Well, and he jumped up, put shirt off his shoulders, straight downstairs in the front door. It was rent woman. Oh, well, he'd on his shirt on. She'd gone. Hey, don't laugh, mate. It was a court job. And Judge told him, he says, that's how I done it, old love. He said, you can't come downstairs with just your shirt off. He said, oh, no, not on. He says, you'll get a year or two for this. He said, but your worship, he said, it's no use arguing. He said, anyway, young man, he said, are you married? He said, I am. He said, well, how long have you been wed? He said, 24 years. Oh, he said, very nice, I might be able to help you. He said, have you any children? He said, yes. He said, how many? He says, 24. He said, case dismissed, you're in his working clothes.